Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Super Late Model Series Race Previews. This is your man, Reegan MacAulay, aka REEGSER, and it's time to prepare for another case of Saturday satisfaction with another exciting and historical race on the inaugural schedule. But first, let's quickly recap where we've left off as we enter the peak of the summer season. After a successful first race at Speedway 660 in May, and a weather washout at Petty International Raceway in early June, we switched gears for round 2 and headed to the 1/4 of a mile bull ring known as Oysterbed Speedway on Prince Edward Island on June 17th. Sponsored by Chapman Brothers Construction and Heinz Paving, the second 150-lap race in SLMS history was nothing short of brilliant. Close racing, competitive action, lap traffic galore, a constantly shifting dynamic between young and old, and sheer dominance from PEI superstars with 3 different drivers taking turns at the top. It was the number 29 Screaming Demon known as Greg Proud who held on over Darren McKinnon in a dramatic but amazing finish. 4 of the top 5 finishers and 6 of the top 10 finishers were filled with PEI drivers, with runner-up Dylan Gosby now leading the standings by 10 points over 660 winner Ryan Messer. We'll be witnessing another dynamic change heading into the upcoming weekend as we travel back across the Confederation Bridge and head to the quarter-mile high bank short track in River Glade, 30 minutes west of Moncton, for Take 2 at Petty. The new round 3 of 6 is sponsored by Fog City Auto Spa, located in St. John, where you can find all of your needed automotive services, and a business that has been an integral supporter of many St. John race teams, including the number 94 of Ryan Reigns. Petty is compared to NASCAR's Martinsville Speedway with its long straightaways. However, the high bank corners add an emphasis for crazier side-by-side racing and bump and run moves. Petty is the only track on the schedule to have surrounding white concrete walls everywhere, as 660 has sand beaches and Oysterbed is half walls, half hill. If you think Martinsville is entertaining, then you can't miss out on witnessing a race at Petty. Let's take a look at our Super 6 SLMS storylines heading into the Fog City Auto Spa 150. With the number 2 of Ashton Tucker unavailable this weekend, a familiar face in the Petty Raceway community will step into the Brad Siliker Motorsports entry. For nearly a decade, the track was referred to as Hicken's house, as Jonathan Hicken dominated every race he entered. A dozen victories between 2012 and 2020 that include 4 Mike Stevens Memorial Trophies and 3 River Glade International crowns. Ironically, some of those victories came against the number 2 car. Like the Tanton Wooldridge storyline at Oysterbed, the Hicken storyline is a similar one in terms of a debut, but with his resume, he'll be in a super sub role that could do wonders for the number 2 team, which sits 13th in points. Round 3 at Petty will serve as a regional melting pot. With a New Brunswick dynamic at 660 and a PEI dynamic at Oysterbed, Petty is like the monkey in the middle. Almost every driver in the entry list has relatively even experience at the facility. 7 drivers are former feature winners, including 2 from Prince Edward Island, 3 from New Brunswick, and 2 from Nova Scotia. Many additional drivers are podium finishers. A combination of a central location and diverse experience throughout the field has the ingredients for a thrilling Fog City Auto Spa 150, which anyone could win. Dylan Gosby has long been known as a top-tier driver in Atlantic Canada, but circumstances and luck have led to many highs and lows throughout his career. After 2 SLMS rounds, he is on the verge of emerging as the series' top talent. Despite no feature victories so far, he and the Kent Livingston Racing Team has 2 heat victories and 3rd and 4th place feature finishes, hence being at the top of the standings and having the best average finish. 2 drivers have solidified themselves as consistent whisperers while running in cars that are new to them and sitting just outside the top 10 in points. Both drivers are a little lackluster with Petty experience, but you can't count them out. Greg Fahey has 12th and 11th place finishes so far while staying out of trouble. He's been largely out of the driver's seat for the past 3 seasons and is seeming to find his groove back behind the wheel. He could very well mix things up at Petty, albeit a best career finish of 8th in 2018. Ian Rasmussen has always flown under the radar, but certainly has faced his share of adversity. Caught up in a few incidents in the Riverview Ford season opener, the number 81 emerged in 16th place, and at the Chapman Bros 150 presented by Heinz Paving, mechanical issues kept him away from his heat race, but he pulled off a shocker in joining the feature at the back of the field and finishing 9th. He's 12th in points, keep an eye on him. In addition to Ashton Tucker sitting in a dire point situation, so do 3 other drivers. Corey Hall was a consensus championship pick during SLMS pit pass interviews at Speedway 660, but tough luck has the number 83 team sitting 14th in points. There was adversity at 660 in a top 10 finish, but 22nd place due to mechanical issues at Oyster Bed wasn't pleasant. From a historical perspective, anything less than top 5 is uncharacteristic for Hall. The 2021 River Glade International Champion will need the racing gods on his side this weekend. Dustin Tucker was caught up in an incident not of his own at 660, and mechanical issues also hit his number 52 car at Oyster Bed. He's deep in points, but Petty is a track he enjoys and has been very consistent at. Chris Duncan dealt with mechanical woes at 660 and somewhat rebounded at Oyster Bed with a 14th place finish. A former champion at Petty, the number 97 will look to build momentum heading into a very familiar track. One of Petty's greater drivers in the recent decade, the number 85 of Kenny McKenzie Jr. has accomplished just about everything there is at Petty's sportsman and street stock ranks. For his first year in one, while holding an average SLMS finish of 15.5, the Fox City Autospot 150 could be his opportunity to raise that number up and shine in the headlines. That Rookie of the Race award could easily be his. Those are your Super 6 SLMS storylines heading into the upcoming weekend. With 4 races remaining on the schedule and many drivers in contention for the penultimate inaugural championship, you'll want to stay tuned as the incredible action continues. Before we wrap up, let's scan through the point standings. Of course, Dylan Gosby is on top of the world with a 10-point lead over Riverview Ford's season opener winner, Ryan Messer. Messer had a strong 7th place finish in his Oyster Bed Speedway debut. He'll look to regain the top spot. If we have another new points leader after round 3, look no further than Robbie McEwen and Lonnie Somerville, who sit 3rd and 4th and have posted strong runs in both races thus far. These are 2 drivers who have both had past success at Petty, but have a 0 in the wins column. Veteran driver and multi-time sportsman winner Dave Oblina sits 5th, and should be one to watch this weekend. The back half of the top 10 sees Steve Halpin in 6th, wondering what could have been. Halpin may be leading the points, had he not suffered a race-ending mechanical failure while running in the top 5 with 2 laps to go at Oyster Bed. Darren McKinnon is 7th. After a near win at Oyster Bed, he is hungry for redemption, and Petty is one of his best tracks. EIT pole sitter from 1 race ago, Troy Burke is 8th. Nicholas Noggle in 9th. He has 2 wins in the Maritimes in 2023, but is still looking for his first SLMS win. Finally, Oyster Bed winner Greg Proud rounds out the top 10 as he climbs the standings. Keep an eye out on our social media pages for the race day format, which is your most important information for knowing what to expect come race day. With multiple supporting classes and a green flag at 6 p.m., you will not want to miss history in the making. And with the quality of talent in the field, good luck picking a winner. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more breaking news, photo, and video content as it happens. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest teasers, interviews, full races, and race highlights. Don't forget to check out our website for news, the schedule, roster, points, and much more at slms.ca. Will Ryan Messer or Greg Proud become the first driver in SLMS history to win 2 races? Or does someone new etch their name into the history books and sign the coveted SLMS banner at the end of 150 laps on Saturday night? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments. We hope to see you at the track for what is shaping up to be a barn burner of an event. The Super Late Model Series is Atlantic Canada's new home for premier Super Late Model racing. So come get some good old Saturday satisfaction and join us in shipping up to Petty.